What is going on, Alabama football fans? The Crimson Tide unfortunately got some bad news this morning as they missed out on the 2024 college football playoffs. We just found out just a little while ago that they would, though, be playing Michigan, a rematch of last year's Rose Bowl game in the ReliaQuest Bowl game this year. ReliaQuest, not really sure. Honestly, I, at this point, kind of despise bowl games. I just do not want to play in a bowl game. I want to be in the college football playoffs. I'll be watching it, though. It's another chance to see Alabama and some of these, guys going off to the NFL and graduating as well play one last time because, look, Alabama, there's been a history of, they don't have players really opt out of bowl games. Maybe things will change this year, but for the most part, they really haven't had anybody opt out in the past. Like I said, they are playing Michigan down in Tampa, Florida on New Year's Eve. Good news, though, it's an 11 a.m. Central Time kickoff, so you still have the entire evening to enjoy New Year's Eve and have a fun time doing that. Like I said, though, 7-5 Michigan, I'll be honest, I'm actually impressed that they finished the season 7-5, as bad as they looked early on in the season. But that is your bowl game matchup for the Crimson Tide. We're going to break down the rest of the way the bracket looked, some of the rankings and stuff like that as well on today's show. But first up, make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. Next goal here is 22.5 thousand subscribers. We're only 311 away. We will also be live for our watch party for Alabama versus Michigan. So do not miss out on that. Make sure you guys are subscribed right now. All right, let's go through the top 25 real quickly. Memphis there sitting at number 25. UNLV got their butts kicked yesterday, but they stay inside the top 25 at that number 24 spot. Colorado, honestly, is the only team that I would have probably enjoyed watching Alabama play against in the bowl games this year. I mean, when you talk about TV ratings, Alabama versus Colorado would have been absolutely lit, but they do not go down that route. Army sitting there at 22, Syracuse also at 21. Illinois is a team that I thought we were going to play in the Citrus Bowl, but it's actually going to be Illinois versus South Carolina in the Citrus Bowl. They're sitting there at number 20, Missouri at 19. Iowa State lost their games, got their butts kicked as well by Arizona State yesterday in the Big 12 championship game. Sitting there at number 18, BYU at 17, Clemson. We'll talk about them here in just a second. They're sitting there at number 16. South Carolina at that number 15 spot. Ole Miss at 14. Miami at 13. Arizona State at 12. Bama at number 11. And this is where things really start getting spicy here as we break inside the top 10. SMU remains in the college football playoffs as the committee puts SMU above Alabama, and we'll talk about why that is here in a second and why I kind of would disagree with it to a certain extent here. Boise State at 9, Indiana at 8, Tennessee at 7, Ohio State at 6. Rounding out the top 5 here, Notre Dame at 5, Penn State at 4, Texas at 3, Georgia, your SEC champs this year, sitting there at that number 2 spot, and then Oregon at 1. Now this is how the college football playoff bracket is going to look this year. Honestly, the way it kind of shakes out here, I honestly think Georgia probably has the easiest path to the college football playoff. Ohio State is going to be really tough if they want to make a run. First, they got to beat Tennessee at home. And then if they do that, they would go on to play Oregon. And then, honestly, I think Texas is going to beat the crap out of Clemson. And then they're going to beat the crap out of Arizona State. And then they would, end up playing, the winner of those games up top there. So, look, the way it shakes out, Alabama gets knocked out because Clemson ends up winning that very close game yesterday against SMU in the ACC Championship Game. Arizona State also gets an automatic bid there from winning the Big 12. They're at that number 4 seed. Boise State is your group of 5 team. They're at that number 3 seed right now. So, look, I really hate the way the seeding process works right now. I really wish it would just be rank the top 12 teams and put the 12 best teams in the college football playoffs, but that's not really, how it works at the end of the day, and we're all just going to have to get over it. That was kind of harsh, wasn't it, right there at the end there? I'm very depressed this morning about the outcome of this. But let me know in the comment section right now, do you guys think Alabama should have made it into the college football playoffs above SMU? Type Y for yes or N for no at the pinned comment of today's video. That ad's going to come here on YouTube. That's totally fine. Go down there to the pinned comment and just go ahead and rant for me if you guys honestly want to, because I personally think Alabama should have been in over SMU, but it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts right there at the pinned comment of today's video. So Ward Manuel was asked, why did SMU get in over Alabama? And I'll be honest, I thought he had a pretty good statement here. He said, we looked at the number of wins that Alabama had against ranked opponents. We looked at SMU's schedule, and they were undefeated in conference. Their losses were to ranked teams, but we also looked at Alabama's losses to unranked teams. And it was quite a debate that they had there in the committee room. He said, we value strength of schedule. That's why Alabama, as a 3-loss team, is ranked ahead of other teams that only have 2 losses. Talking about Miami there. It is something that we talked about quite a bit. But in the balance of it, in the way that SMU played in that game, talking about the ACC Championship game against Clemson, losing on a last-second field goal, it's a great win by Clemson. Great game there. We just felt that in this particular case, SMU still had the nod at number 10 above Alabama. And right now, I'll be honest, I'm not super mad that SMU, SMU is just kind of a byproduct of it at the end of the day. Because look, right here, the reason they put Alabama above Miami last week was because of a couple data points. Right here, opponents' win percentage. Alabama, 64%. Their opponent's win percentage, SMU didn't play as good of competition, 52.5% their opponent's win percentage. Look then to the strength of schedule from both of these teams. Alabama had the 16th strength of schedule in the country. SMU had the 60th strength of schedule in the country. Look to the strength of record there. Now, this is kind of, I think, what helps SMU out a little bit. Their strength of record isn't that bad, number 15th right there, but at the end of the day, Alabama still has a better strength of record, and they also beat 2 teams, South Carolina and Georgia, that went and beat the eventual ACC champs in Clemson. They beat the crap out of Clemson in that game. So, look, right now, either way, the outcome is what it is, but you can't be mad at the result. Alabama had a chance. They controlled their own destiny all the way until 2 weeks left of the season, and you go blow a big game on the road against 6-6 Oklahoma. Not a good team at all. Alabama still went out there and lost that game. So you can be mad about Alabama not getting in. SMU at the end of the day, they're just a team, a placeholder. It doesn't really matter who it was going to be. You could put any team at the end of the day. You put that team's logo there and, instead of SMU's. And I still think Alabama should have gotten in because I think they played a harder schedule at the end of the day. And the committee says that they, value strength of schedule. But to me, it doesn't really seem like that. But like I said, at the end of the day, Alabama controlled their own destiny, and they went down there to Norman, Oklahoma, and blew it. You lost against 6-6 Vandy. Tennessee game probably didn't hurt you that bad, but then, like I said, it really didn't matter. Alabama was going to get into the college football playoffs no matter what if they would have won their last 2 games of the season, and at the end of the day, they did not do that. So, it's Alabama's fault that they didn't get in, and they're playing in the ReliaQuest Bowl. I can't get over that against 7-5 Michigan, not even ranked. That honestly might make me a little bit more mad that we're playing Michigan in this game rather than Alabama missing out on the playoffs completely. We'll kind of break down a little bit this Alabama versus Michigan game here in just a second, but today's show is presented by GameTime. Look, guys, GameTime is the only ticketing app that I use way before they started being a sponsor here at the Alabama Football Report. And they have a new feature now called GameTime Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. GameTime Picks filters out all the fluff to show you only the incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. GameTime Picks is just curation that makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. If you guys want to go ahead and get tickets to Alabama's bowl game, you can do that right now on GameTime. Or if you're looking ahead, going ahead and scouting some basketball tickets, Alabama has been very, very good so far this season in basketball, and definitely think that they have a chance to go on a run here during March Madness here up in a couple of months here. But look, guys, GameTime has killer last-minute deals. They have all-in prices, views from your seat, and the lowest price is guaranteed. If you find tickets in the same section or row for less, GameTime will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app today, create an account, and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Check out GameTime.co for last-minute tickets. Terms do apply, but again, create an account and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. That link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Download Game Time today, because what time is it? It's game time. All right, we're going to break down just a little bit. We'll do a future, second preview of this matchup with some keys to victory and stuff like that. But we just kind of want to, break down some stuff on the Michigan side for this bowl game here. Like I said, Michigan 7-5. And I'll be honest, that's kind of impressive finish the way they started the season, just not very good at all. They've gone through like 3 quarterbacks this season, and none of them have been very good. Michigan's stats this season, like I said, their offense has been absolutely god-awful. They were able to get a win versus Ohio State late in the season, but that was all because of their defense. Their defense, got to give them credit where credit is due, has been pretty good. They've got some solid players on the defensive side of the ball, and they've got multiple first-rounders on the defensive side of the ball as well. But, man, when it comes to the offense, their offense is just god-awful. They are not good at all. Their quarterback, Davis Warren, has only played in 8 games this season. And like I said, they've shuffled through multiple quarterbacks. Alex Orji started off the season for him. He only played 6 games, was not very good at all. Jack Tuttle he plays 2 games for him. And I think Jack Tuttle is the Michigan quarterback that had to medically retire, if I'm not mistaken, from football. So they've found their way here now to Davis Warren. Like I said, guys, 9 interceptions to 6 touchdowns here is not a very good, way to play the game. You're not going to win very many games when you're throwing more interceptions than touchdown passes at the end of the day. And that completion percentage is not very good either. Look, I mean, Alabama is now in another bowl game here. It's kind of few and far between lately, but at the end of the day, man, bowl games, they are not my thing. I do not like playing bowl games, especially against teams like this look, Michigan's unranked. If we're going to play a bowl game, I would like to at least be against a team in the top 25, but this is where we sit right now. So do you guys care about bowl games anymore? Type 1 for yes or 0 for no in the comment section. I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section right now. They do have some pretty good running backs, though, and they got some good offensive linemen as well. Kind of just like last year, it's most of their offense. Khalil Mullings has been a guy for them who has been electric all season long. Donovan Edwards, they call him Big Game Don for a reason. He's been pretty decent in the times that he's played, but really Khalil Mullings has been the guy, toting the rock for Michigan, averaging over 5 yards a carry, almost 1,000-yard running back. Try to look to see if he can get 1,000 yards here in the bowl game, barring any kind of, players opting out or anything like that. That's another thing we got to look at, right, is some of these players on the defensive side of the ball, are they going to opt out for this game, especially some of those guys that are going off to the NFL draft. So my score prediction for this game, I really wanted it to be more of a blowout when I did my score prediction, but I'm going to give their defense a little bit of credit here and make it 38-10. I think Alabama will win this game. I think it's going to kind of look like a couple of years ago when Alabama played Michigan in that bowl game. I don't think it's going to be very competitive. Maybe Michigan comes out and they stall Alabama kind of to begin the game. These are just kind of my initial thoughts on the game, coming up here, but I think at the end of the day, Alabama's got a better team. I think they got a better coaching staff. And I think they're going to have less opt-outs, too, at the for this game because Alabama has had a history of players not opting out when they could have opted out. So I'm going to go with Alabama taking the dub in this one, 38-10. Get down to this comment section one more time for me now, guys. Predict the score to Alabama versus Michigan here. Let me know what you guys think of the comment section right now.